You must be Mr. Fisher.
Must I? Because that hasn't been working out for me lately.
But I'm afraid you must.
Well, if I must.
Do you know for what reason you've been brought here?
For starters, I'm unlucky.
The unlucky are nothing more than a frame of reference for the lucky, Mr. Fisher. You are unlucky, so that I may know that I am not. Unfortunately, the lucky never realize they are lucky until it's too late. Take yourself, for instance. Yesterday you were better off than you are today, but it took today for you to realize it. But today has arrived, and it's too late. You see? People are never happy with what they have. They always want what they had, what someone else has.
Kind of like a rabbi who would rather be a gangster, or a gangster who would rather be a rabbi. I mean, what is that? Some sort of grass is always greener on the other side of the fence thing? I mean, how do you justify being a rabbi and a gangster?
I don't. I'm a bad man who doesn't waste time wondering what could have been when I am what could have been and could not have been. I live on both sides of the fence. My grass is always green. Consider, Mr. Fisher. There are two men sitting here before you, and one of them you should be very afraid of. Where's my money?
Listen, I've been hearing that a lot lately.
My father used to say, the first time somebody calls you a horse, you punch him on the nose. The second time somebody calls you a horse, you call him a jerk. But the third time somebody calls you a horse, well, then perhaps it's time to go shopping for a saddle.
I don't have your money.
This isn't like skipping out on the check. You owe me money. I have interests. You owe them money.
I don't even know how much money I owe you.
$33,000.
But I'm not Nick Fisher.
And who the hell are you?
I'm just a guy who was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
You have 48 hours to get my money. Saul will keep an eye on you. In the meantime, you may go now.
Wait, I just have one question. I wasn't frisked. I see. So, being a rabbi, a religious man...
There are three things that you may not do in order to save a life, including his own. He may not idol worship, commit adultery, or perform an act of premeditated murder. Killing you before you killed me would have been...
kosher.
acceptable. I wired half the money to your bank in the